Hello there, my wonderfuls and my gorgeous peeps on Facebook, and hello to my delicious design lovers on Instagram. It is so good to be here with you. I am freezing my team out. We have the window open because I got a light here in front of me, and it's baking the woman. I'm baking. Baking. Do not need help feeling too warm, if you know what I'm talking about. Hello, design lovers. I'm Donna Hoffman. They call me the Interior Design Advocate because I help to advocate on behalf of design lovers everywhere, men and women, who are working on your own home and you're just not getting the results that you love, and you get frustrated and you're spending money in the wrong places and you're flushing money down the toilet. No, we don't want that. That is why when I'm not running my luxury interior design company, Fabrics Behind Me, that is why when I'm not doing that, I teach design lovers just like you with amazing online courses that are filled to the brim with fantastic strategy. Design is so much more strategic than you even realize. It is a game changer when you start to get your hands on strategy. In fact, a little bit later, I'll be sharing a great link to a free workshop that I offer on design, where I start to teach you about the power of strategy, and I share some great strategies with you too. But what are we doing here in Facebook Live here on Tuesday, every 4 p.m. Eastern? Well, today we're talking about something I get a lot of questions about. I get a lot of questions that are about furniture placement. And it's amazing to me how many of you, you're brilliant at what you do in so much that you're endeavoring into, and yet you are not thorough in your space planning endeavors with your home because it's not sexy. It's not the fun part. It's not fabric. But let me tell you, at the end of this session, I'm going to show you how your fabric and color in your space is so related and tied to your furniture layout that if you blow it on your layout, you'll never get the right Pinterest beautiful result with the way you're mapping fabric and color through your space. So we'll talk about that. So what are the 5 big common mistakes that smart, savvy design lovers like you tend to make with your furniture layout, also called furniture space planning? Well, there are actually probably like 10 of them, but the big ones that I see constantly from my students when they first come to talk to me or work with me in my courses, my online courses, or when clients come to us, or when people write to me with questions, it's always, these are the common themes that I see. Everything tracks back to. Okay, mistake, and I want you to tell me what you think you struggle with where you're placing your furniture. Just type it in, and I'd love to know who's with us in this quick virtual design conversation classroom we're having, right? What do you struggle with when it comes to placing your furniture? Where do you lose your confidence? Where do you think you're off? Where do you think you're running into a problem? Can you even identify what the problem is? So let me identify 5 of those problems for you. So problem number 1, too much furniture, crowding the space. It's either because, well, it can be a couple of reasons. It could be that you moved and you're trying to make things from a former residence work. I don't care if you're upsized, if the rooms are a different shape and size, everything from your former residence very likely will not fit in exactly the way you think it will. I'm helping a couple right now upsize into a much larger home, probably 2.5 times the size of their home currently. And yet a lot of their furniture is not fitting because we've got different degrees of wall space. Some rooms are more narrow. It's doorway placement, entry points into rooms that also affect how you have to keep those traffic patterns open. So mistake number 1 is too much furniture in a room, just cramming things in because you already owned it or you just didn't know better. Number 2 that is kind of related, and that is not leaving enough pass-through space. So the pass-through space is how you need to be able to walk through your furniture to get either into the furniture, to enter the sofa conversation area, or to get to your bed at night, or to walk through your bedroom to get changed, right? Not leaving enough pass-through space from wall to chair, from chair to coffee table, from furniture piece to furniture piece in adjoining spaces, in open concept spaces. So too much furniture or not enough pass-through space. Or number 3, too little furniture. When there's too little furniture in a room, the balance and weight of the room is off. Visual weight. when you think about how furniture moves through a room, sits in a room, it's to support the function. But you're also thinking about balance. Do I have enough weight here? Are those chairs big enough and beefy enough? Have I picked things, maybe I have the right amount of furniture in my space, but things are too small for the space. So too little furniture, like not enough furniture, or furniture that's too small to fill the space. I'll put that all in the same category. And P.S., even if you have too little furniture in a room, you can still get screwed up on your pass-through space, not having enough pass-through space to move through areas. For example, I recommend that between your coffee table and your sofa, 15 inches feels comfortable. It's a comfortable pass-through space to walk into that sofa to be able to take a seat. That's what I mean when I talk about pass-through space. So mistake number one that I see a lot, too much furniture packed into spaces. Mistake number two is not enough pass-through space. Mistake number three is too little furniture, and or as well as furniture that is too little. Mistake number four, I see this a lot, and it's a kind of a counterintuitive move. It's crowding your entry points into a room or your doorways. So when you enter, let's say, your son's bedroom, you need obviously room for the door swing. You can't ignore that that door has to open all the way. And once you walk into that door, you need to watch how soon you hit that furniture. Ideally, if you can, 36 inches feels great. But if you can't do 36, at least try for 24 inches, right? So it's those entry points, and not just doorways, guys. I'm talking about I've seen family rooms where people start to crowd the entry point between, into the kitchen or into a living room, where you're crowding the entry point, from the hallway, the foyer, the center foyer into that living room, or if you're in an apartment, from your entry foyer into that living room space. So crowding entry points and doorways, very, very common. And then last but not least, and this is one that a design mentor of mine taught to me, and she's brilliant, and so I love this one, and I like to teach this one too. Filling every single corner. Filling every single corner in a room. So let's say we've got a fictitious dining room, and we've got the sideboard, and you have your table and chairs, and then in one corner you have a little plant stand, in another corner you have a tea cart or a bar cart set up, and in another corner you've got a floor plant, in another corner you have, I don't know, something with a pedestal with a statue on it. Filling every single corner in a room can shut down a room. Now, are there cases where you can really fill right to your corners? Of course. But by and large, if you have a room that doesn't feel right to you, something feels off, ask yourself, am I stuffing my corners? Can I remove just the bar cart in that fictitious dining room? I frankly would remove the little plant stand and the plant. What itty bitty things are you shoving into those corners because you think you need weight there? And I find that when people are doing that, usually something is off in the room, and you recognize that something is off in the room, but you don't know how to correct it. So you just start to throw more stuff into the space and you start filling up your corners. Does that make sense? So you tell me, what are your biggest concerns or frustrations when it comes to furniture placement? And if you have a question about furniture placement, I'm happy to take that as well. So Instagram, Jennifer is asking me, my 20-something kids love to say that my chair set in my living room looks like an AA meeting. Oh my gosh. So that means probably that you are set up kind of like in a big square, I guess. A lot of chairs, a room of chairs is not good. Yeah, that would be I'd love to know exactly what they're objecting to. I'd love to see a picture, Jennifer, for what you're saying. But yeah, if you have a lot of chairs just floating, and listen, I love floating furniture. Katie and Jasmine and I were driving back from a design center meeting, and before getting to another design meeting before coming out here to talk to you, and I was telling everybody, well, this is what we're talking about today during our Facebook Live, and what do you think are the big things to talk about? And either Katie or Jasmine talked about, floating furniture. It's wonderful to float furniture in a room so that everything doesn't have to be pushed up against the wall. And I almost brought that out here as another common mistake. But here's the thing. I've also seen you guys try to float furniture when your room isn't big enough to do it. So, and also if you are floating furniture, like a chair, like Jennifer's AA chairs, you generally a chair likes to be anchored by something. It's a little martini table, a little coffee, a little sidearm table. Do you know the difference? Sidearm table is about 18 inches, 16 to 18. A martini table is usually smaller. It's a small diameter. It could be 8, 12, 10 inches around, 14 inches around. That's called a little martini table. A little table like that to the side of a chair, Jennifer, in your space might help to make it feel like, you're some sort of blah, 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 anonymous meeting. So that might help you. So Renak87 on Instagram is saying, how many inches should a pass-through space should there be? Good question. The National Kitchen and Bath Association allows for 36 inches, and that has kind of become a standard, an agreed upon standard, not just in kitchens. But I will tell you, for big people, for tall people, and for any people, just people, I find 42 inches feels even better. So 36 is the minimum you shoot for, but if you can squeeze out those extra 6 inches, it's only 6 inches more going from 36 to 42, but let me tell you, it's a game changer. So pass-through space of 36 inches is ideal if you can get it. Renak 87. Okay, so if you have a follow-up question, great question, do feel free to ask me that. Okay, let's see what's happening in the world of Facebook. I'm getting all these hearts and waves on Insta, which is great to see my Insta girls and guys and lovelies out there. I'm getting hellos from all my Facebook lovelies. I love it. Hi, everybody. Hi, Cindy and Ronnie and Jane and Margaret and Barb from everywhere. It's from Florida to New York and so forth. Vicky is saying, couch against a wall. Do not have a very large living room. Vicky, if you don't have a larger living room, then yeah, put your couch against the wall. I love it, in quotes, love it when, on HGTV or some, TV show, designers get out there and start espousing, you must, stop pushing all your furniture up against the wall. Well, your big pieces, if you have a small living room, it's, 15 by 14 or smaller, chances are really good you got to put your sofa up against a wall. Now, can you have a chair that is floating in that room? Chances are you could. So I do agree that you don't want to take the 4 walls of your room and just line up your furniture like it's a police lineup, get all the furniture against the wall. But the big pieces and the majority of the pieces probably will be against the wall or up against a window. You might have in a living room, sofa against a long wall, the shorter wall where maybe there's a couple windows. You might have 2 chairs or a love seat. And then you can have a floating fifth seat, which would be a chair. That would be floating, as opposed to having everything up against a wall. So hopefully that helps you there, Vicky. Trudy is saying, I struggle with arranging furniture around the fireplace and TV. Oh, Trudy. Oh my gosh. In today's world, the TV is such an important consideration, right? I did an online presentation with some clients in England. They're building a home here in the US, and I'm just honored to be the designer that they selected to be designing it for them. And one of their kids was online I got hearts on that one. Thank you. I got one of their teenage daughters was on this Zoom call as we were looking at their space plans for the family. And Lucy said, hey, wait a minute. That the TV placement, what about Jeffrey? Where's he going to have his TV placed? And there was not an ideal place to put the TV and the bed in this space, in this room. If we wanted to get more than just a bed and a dresser and nightstands in this room, he couldn't be opposite his TV. Couldn't be. He's going to have to lay in bed on his side looking at the TV on his side. My feeling, hey, you're a lucky kid. You got a flat screen in your room. A lot of people we know, it's, the kids are watching TV on their iPad or on a computer, right? Or not at all, out in the living room with their mom and dad. So TV placement will drive furniture placement. And there's only so much you can do when there's a fireplace in the room, because very often you've got to put that TV above the fireplace because of the windows and other available space to map out your furniture layout. And it gets really dicey when you have a diagonal fireplace. We started to talk about that a couple of Facebook Lives ago. So if you missed that, you can always find us on YouTube, the Interior Design Advocate on YouTube, and you can look for, I would search for that fireplace Facebook Live we did, because we talked about this. So Vicky, where it gets really dicey is, at least if your TV is above your fireplace, you've got one focal point and the TV that you're trying to address. It gets complicated when you've got the TV on one wall and the fireplace on the other. That gets tough. Or TV on one wall, fireplace on another. And you just, now you have a split focal point, really. The focal point is still the fireplace, but you have to nod to the function of the room. So without visuals to show you this, I cannot take you further on this lesson, Trudy, but in my Decorating Genius course, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms, I go full bore into furniture space planning, whether you're in a contained space or open concept. So if you need more support, you may want to check out that online course, Decorating Genius System. And there's a 20% off coupon that we're keeping live through COVID. That coupon for 20% off you can find on our blog to get that current code. All right, getting more hearts on that one. Sherry's saying hello from Los Angeles. Hello, Sherry in LA. Hope you have some sunshine out there, because heaven knows we don't have it here in Philadelphia. Okay, Kristen Strepper on Instagram is saying, how do you feel about the TV above the fireplace? I feel fine. I feel good, Kristen. Here's the story. When flat screens were first hitting the scene, a lot of people were very anti-flat screen above the fireplace. They felt that it's an architectural feature. I want art above it. And I would call those peeps my architectural purists. And I will be honest with you, for a long time, I was in that camp. My husband, Steve, was there too. But the more I looked at it and the deeper into the electronics age we all walked, I thought, you know what? This is the age of electronics, and they're just a part of our life. So I don't mind a flat screen above a fireplace. I really don't. But I have clients, and I know families and students who really hate that look. They feel the fireplace is something that should be beautiful. Here's the whole thing about the TV above the fireplace mantle. You just have to make sure that the mantle's not too high, and or the seating isn't so close that you have to do this, look up, to be able to see the TV, because you will get a neck ache. Trust me, you will. So that's how I feel about it. As long as the spacing works and it's okay with your aesthetic, I think you're fine to do it. And then Jennifer is saying, do you like the modern setup of placing TV above fireplace and chairs facing the TV? I'd have to see the whole room that you're talking about, Jennifer, because I have seen people take what is a living room or a great room and kind of set up their seating like it's a home theater in that room in front of the fireplace. And it can look a little odd. But here's the story. When you have a flat screen in a room, you have to accept right off the bat that there will be ideal seats in the room, less than ideal seats in the room, and terrible seats in the room. So, and I know you guys say, I'm a visual learner. Well, we don't get too visual here. These are our conversations every Tuesday. If you want to get super visual, take one of my free workshops, take one of my online courses. But let's just say this is the room in question, okay? And let's just say the TV, the flat screen is up here. So if you align your sofa, let's say it's a sectional sofa in the room, right? Flat screen is here, and we've got a sectional sofa that's going to run, here's a TV. The sectional sofa is going to go like this. It's going to be against the wall and float here, and you can enter that way, right? These people have a great view of the TV, straight on. These people where the sectional curves onto that wall, their view is not so great. And it gets worse the closer to the TV you get, because they have to do this. They have to turn their head to see that TV. Tough beans. That's how homes work. It's not a theater. So just in case that didn't make sense for everybody. So that's the TV. And here is the sectional sofa. Right? So TV is here. There's the TV. There's the sectional. These are the great seats. These are the nuts. These are the That's the terrible seat. Right? Here's the TV. Okay, get that on the screen. These are the good seats, and those are the terrible. You know, it gets worse and worse, right? Well, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this backwards on Facebook. I apologize. It's a mirror image on my camera here. The closer to the TV you get, the worse your view. That just is what it is. And then if you really want to become a bugaboo, okay. So now if I add, you know, in the center is a coffee table. And then there's a little guest chair. You know, now that guest chair, it has a terrible view to the TV. Oh, look, it's swiveled on it. Yeah, it can, but you're still going to be so close to the TV. You have to just accept the fact that not everybody can have a perfect seat. You want perfect seating, perfect view, Build yourself a home theater with stadium style theater seating where everybody has a dead straight ahead view. This is what I see clients struggle with too, with the thought, unrealistically so, that every single seat in the house will be the perfect view of the TV. It just is in many rooms. It just doesn't work out that way unless you're talking about a home theater. And believe it or not, dedicated home theaters with stadium style seating, we're seeing less of those. We're still seeing them, but we're seeing less of those in the luxury design world where I practice, and more requests for lounge seating in a TV room. So that means, again, some people have a fabulous view and some people are kind of on the sidelines, right? So that just is what it is. Or some people might be a little too close. The good thing is, though, in terms of depth to the TV, with the newest technologies that are out there in TV, resolution has gotten so good that even with a larger screen, you can be like 5 and 6 feet, like as little as 5 feet. Some media experts have told me, media specialists, and still have good resolution, good view. You might have just seen Jasmine walking around behind me. We are a functioning, busy design studio. So I used to kick everybody out of my office when I would do these, but can't do it anymore. We're just busy. Greetings from Washington State from Lori Neal. Hey, Lori. Hope it's beautiful out in Washington. Debbie is saying her problem is balancing a small space and comfort of large upholstery. Debbie Park, here's what you're going to do. Don't waste your footprint. You know what your footprint is? That's the actual amount of space that a piece of furniture takes up. Don't waste your footprint on overdeveloped backs and overdeveloped arms. Get a comfortable sit, but you can have a nice deep feeling sit with upholstery that's 37 and 38 inches deep. A lot of upholstery can also go to 41 deep, but you don't necessarily need to go there to get the feeling of a nice big sit. So if you're in a small space, watch the overall footprint, but get a big sit within that footprint. So you're taking up the footprint with the seat cushion and the back cushion, not big arms and big overdeveloped back. Does that make sense? Hope it does, Debbie. Send in a follow-up if you need something more specific. Veronica is saying this is great information. Cheers to Veronica with a little water. Thank you, Veronica. Joanne is saying, and Veronica, I'm glad I'm helping you, kiddo. Joanne is saying, hi, I have a small family room and I don't know how to stage chairs and tables in front of a bay window. Oh, the DB, the damn bay window. That drives a lot of people crazy. Now, here's the thing. I would want to see a picture to be able to answer you in great detail, but with bay windows, there are different types of bays, right? There are some bays where the bay cantilevers beyond the floor. Do you know what the word cantilever means? It means it moves. How am I going to describe this? All right. All these non-visual visual aids. Here's your floor, here's your wall, and then the bay sits up here and moves out, right? So it cantilevers. It's like floating. It looks like it's floating from the outside of your house. Like there's nothing supporting it beneath. That's what cantilevering is, right? I'm sure there's a more elegant way to explain that. Some bay windows, though, do this. Here's your floor. And then the bay, it's a literal cutout, right? If it's cantilevered, you're just going to set up your furniture as if you've got a wall to deal with, and don't worry about it. Seating. We're not going to put a big armoire in front of it, right? Seating. When you have a bay that cuts out and pushes out, so you've got floor space you could fill. There are a couple of ways to do it. You can sink your chairs into that. 2 beautiful armchairs and a table between them, lamp, blah, 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 beautiful window treatments around. You take my Window Boss course. You know how to do great window treatments on any kind of window and door. So you can sink your furniture into it, but you don't have to. You don't have to go all the way in. You can go partially in so that you're at least connecting to the other furniture that's out in the space. So it doesn't have to be pushed flush into the entire bay, and sometimes that's what helps by pulling it a little forward in the bay. Same thing if you wanted to put a love seat or a sofa in part of the bay. You could even put a console table behind it, then the sofa and or love, and that again pushes it out of the bay out into connecting with perhaps the, likely the other upholstered seating there. And again, guys, design is a very visual thing, and I know you are visual learners, but this is a conversation we have very informally every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Take your questions. If you want more, if you want to really just see what I'm talking about with pictures and pointers, and there it is. My courses, Decorating Genius System, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms. It's nothing of my face. It's all you seeing what I'm teaching about. Same thing with Design CPR, Creating Perfect Rooms with Accessories. Same thing with my course, Window Boss, How to Plan and Select Window Treatments Like a Boss. So if you're super visual, I got you covered there. Okay, one more question on Facebook, and then we'll take another Instagram. I got all these hearts happening. Thank you for the hearts. Mwah. Hello from Alice to everyone. Alice Galindo Quizada is saying hello, everyone. Alice, everybody's saying hello back to you. I can feel it. They're sending you a hug, right? We're all sending Alice a hug. Give me some hearts on that one. Hugs to Alice. Oh, I got hearts on Instagram for you, Alice. I hope you're feeling that, girlfriend. Susan is saying, oh, I might need a martini table to help my room. Sounds like a perfect way to anchor a chair I have in mind in our space. Yay, Susan. All right, we're already helping design lovers out there. Noelia is saying hello from Puerto Rico. Noelia, I am so anxious to come to Puerto Rico. I'll have to look you up when I get there. Never been. I hear it's absolutely fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I have to tell you a funny story. My daughter Anna was in high school, was very friendly with all of her dance buddies, and her friend Paulina, her mom was from Puerto Rico and her dad is from Cuba. And my daughter Anna studied Spanish, and her friend Paulina also studied Spanish. Now, Paulina spoke Spanish at home because her parents both spoke it, but she took Spanish in school because she couldn't read it and she couldn't write it, right? She was just used to speaking it. So my daughter Anna was actually tutoring her friend Paulina in Spanish grammar and writing, and it was really kind of funny to me. And I was talking to Paulina's mom, and I said, so tell me, how is Paulina's accent? She was born here in the U.S., stateside, I should say, on the contiguous, here in the Philadelphia region, say it that way, apologize. And my girlfriend said, my oldest daughter, her accent is beautiful, but my youngest daughter, her accent is terrible. She speaks like a gringo. And I laughed. I said, you want to know why? You know who's tutoring your daughter in Spanish? My Jewish daughter. So we had a good giggle over that. So there it is. Please do not send me any anti-Semitic rants, but there it is. Okay, so story told, Noelia, lovingly. Jane is saying, I'm selling everything. I'm starting fresh. LOL. This time has been so helpful. The NE does not fit into this Florida home. The NE. The Northeast does not fit into this Florida home. Yes, that's so true. That type of design style would be very heavy feeling down in Florida. Okay, Carol is saying, recommendations for multi-doorway family rooms to keep doorways open, trying to float furniture but still off. Carolyn, I need to see specifically what you're talking about, and I need pictures as well, babe. Sorry about that. On Instagram, Renak89. That was Renak87. Maybe it's another Renak? I don't know. Same one. Sorry, I've got a different number for you. If I want a sofa to have the fireplace, maybe face the fireplace, is it okay to float it and have the back of it facing the entrance to the room? Yeah, I've struggled with this. It depends on how soon you hit that sofa when walking into the room, right? I'd love to see that sofa at least 4 feet out in front of you before you come into the back of it. And the other thing you can do that really helps this, don't do a sofa with a super high back. Control that back so it's maybe 37 high. Don't do like one of these exaggerated 40, 42s. I'm looking at a beautiful sofa for someone. It's an exaggerated back sofa. So if you have to float, if possible, I prefer not to. And if you have to float, if you can do some eye candy on the back, I know I'm now not talking about space planning, but if you can do a band along the bottom, or what's called shadow boxing along the back, or maybe nail heads, so there's a little bit of eye candy, something sexy in the back of that sofa, that could be really nice. All right, there it is. Okay, so hopefully I answered you there. Send in a follow-up if you need one. How far from the wall, Lois wants to know, how far from the wall would you have floating furniture? It depends upon the furniture. Again, you want 36 inches for pass-through space as a minimum. 42 is better. Raquel is saying, I have no idea where to place my TV. I have a wall where the TV should go, but on one end of the wall is a doorway, so I don't know whether to center it to the full room. Okay, this is, Raquel, is a great question. I really need to see what I'm looking at. The description alone is not going to do it for me, kiddo, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to pass on your question because I would need a visual to be able to answer you well. Okay, so I send that to you with love and hugs and respectfulness. If you can put your question in a more theoretical manner, resubmit it. Okay, Raquel is saying, I don't know what she's saying. Okay. Sharon is saying that she's struggling with a lot of the things we're talking about now. Barbara from Ohio is saying this is a great topic. Barbara, I'm so glad, Barbara Horn. Yay. Debbie Park is saying thank you. I wish full-size beds came in extra long, like dorm extra long twins. Steve, do they? No, they do not. I hear you. Yeah, okay. Okay, so Two Straws is asking me a question off topic, so I'm not going to answer it because I've got other questions on topic. If there's time, Two Straws, I'll come back to you. Kelly is saying, I have a bay in my bedroom, 6 panels, and the middle 2 are French doors out to the pool. Real pain to decorate. Well, because you have doors. You got to stay the heck away from it. That's really just going to be something you're going to be, wait a minute, 6 panels and the middle, yeah. So that sounds beautiful, actually, Chris Kellogg. Sounds like you're not putting furniture in there, though, because of those doorways. Noella laughed at my story. Good, Noella. I'm glad I didn't insult you. I just thought it was hilarious when my girlfriend told me how she thinks her daughter speaks, And I was nervous to tell her it was my kid that was tutoring her, which was probably the problem. Oh, I should have added that Anna has a terrible Spanish accent. Blech. All right. So Vicky is saying, window as a headboard for a bed. No small children. It would be a last choice. Yeah, it would be a last choice. And I had to do this 2 years ago, a year ago, for a guest room for a client because of where they wanted the TV and bed situated. So I did have to put the bed in front of a window. I did a headboard and I did a low headboard. It was a window at the back of the residence. I would hate the way that looked at the front of your residence. If you are in a townhouse or a detached home, I would not do something like that in front of a window. It just will look terrible from the outside. But, if it's on the back of the house, you're looking at it from the exterior, I think you can get away with it. But I would watch the height of that headboard. And yes, with small children, I'm talking like children today, grandkids tomorrow, I would be very wary of that. Not my favorite move. But listen, desperate times call for desperate measures. Sometimes you got to do what you've got to do. Carmen is saying, I'm struggling with a large wall to the left of a queen bed in our guest room. We have a barnwood wall. I guess you mean, what's that called? What? Shiplap. There. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. My lawn designer husband's yelling shiplap. Thank you. I'm real tired of that. That's why words aren't coming into my brain right now. We have a shiplap wall already as the focal point to the headboard. What do I do on the long wall? It seems so empty. How about a big giant standing mirror? How about that? I love reverting to that. I'm talking, 84 inches tall by 48 or 50 inches across, like a beautiful mirror. You can hang it on the wall or you can just lean it. But here's the trick. If you lean it, you really attach it. You tether it. So what you do is, if this is the mirror and you're leaning it, you do cup hooks in the wall, and then you wire the mirror, what would be the hanging apparatus of the mirror, to the wall. So heaven forbid a little dog or a child bangs into this thing, it's not moving. So there you go. Steal that idea. So Kathy is saying, can I answer, please? Kathy, babe, what do you want me to answer? Oh dear, I don't see your question. So write it in, Kathy, because last 2 questions, I missed your question. So type it in again and I'll try to get to you, because last 2 questions, and while Kathy's putting in her question and you guys are putting in your last question, if you have missed any portion of this hopefully excellent Facebook Live, find us on YouTube at the Interior Design Advocate, and you can find this baby and enjoy it, and there it is, okay? So at YouTube. And if you're not following us on Instagram at our design studio, you want to see what we're doing, what kind of mischief we're making out in the world, that's at IDH Designs. That's at IDH Designs for our design studio. And of course, for my wonderful teaching community here at the Interior Design Advocate, that Instagram handle is at decorating.genius. That's at decorating.genius. I know we should have put Design Advocate in that title, but it was just too long to type out. It made such a long thing. And because our very popular course is called Decorating Genius, that's why we did at decorating.genius, because that course is all about putting you into your zone of genius. And I have posted for you a great link to, it's not a great link, it's a link to a wonderful free workshop that I have on design, which will help, I think, in next week's topic as well. Next week's topic is a goodie. It's called How to Build Your Design Confidence. How to build your interior design confidence. That's what we're talking about next week. Oh, Kathy D would need to send pictures to be able to, for me to be able to answer. That is what I'm being told by my team. So Kathy D, we're actually doing you a favor by not answering you, because if I were to answer you when I know I need pictures and so I can't answer you well, I'd be giving you what's called crappy advice. And that is how people waste big money. So here's what I'd say to you, Kathy. And this is said with total respect. If you want to get pictures in front of my team and our community, you need to be, you just join one of our courses. Our online courses all come with a free private Facebook group only for the users of our course, only for our students. And that's where our students are posting before and afters that totally rock. Oh my God, make me cry. Questions about their projects. We've got a great team of designers in there that are answering. When I can pop in, I do as well. My designers are popping in. So that's a way to get questions in front of our team and a whole community. Are we designing for you? No, you design. The community guides. It's about building muscle here at the Interior Design Advocate. It's not about me or my team designing for you, because then you wouldn't build the muscle. So Kathy is still, she's putting it in again. Okay, let's see if Kathy can say it in a way that really makes sense here for me to be able to answer without a picture. All right, Kathy Staton, here we go. You have a 19.5 by 14-foot wide master bedroom. Everybody got that? Kathy's bedroom is 19.5 by 14. She has a huge space at the end of the bed that feels awkward and a vaulted ceiling, like a dance floor. Thoughts? Yes. This sounds like a space that could absolutely have a big, beautiful, beefy bench in front of the bed, or a small love seat, low back, in front of the bed, or two small demi club chairs in front of the bed. Okay, so you were trying to push weight, Kathy, into the center of that room, into that dance floor. I'm doing that right now. I showed it to a client last night on this Zoom call yesterday in a guest room that's also pretty long. And we showed two small guest chairs with a small table between them on the furniture space plan that we showed. And it'd be perfect as a guest room. You know, you can sit down, put your feet up, you know, watch a little TV. Well, not put your feet up, watch a little TV for the guests if they don't want to be in bed when they're watching TV, because the TV is across from all of this. So those are a couple of thoughts. I got hearts on that idea. So Kathy, hopefully that will help you. All right, Raquel is saying, do you center the TV to the room or the wall? That's a great question. Okay, in a home theater, we center it on the wall, which is also centered in the room. If you are on a full wall, you usually end up centering it on the wall, but I would actually look at your furniture layout. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do drawn plans. You gotta. I don't care if you draw it on 1/4-inch graph paper and you draw it by hand. I don't care if you do it with a free online program or a paid program, but you've got to draw it out, and you do your furniture placement to figure out where your TV has to go. I did a whole, what's that? Where did we do that? Where to decorating, where to do the flat screen. In my CPR course, Design CPR, Creating Perfect Rooms with Accessories, we have a piece of content in there, decorating with the flat screen, where to place the flat screen. It's a bugaboo. I get it. But just know that furniture placement drives your TV screen placement. And where you hope to put the TV screen, you will prove whether it is the right or wrong location based upon your furniture placement. And before I wrap up today, I promised you I would also tell you how your furniture placement affects the way color and pattern moves through a space. as in terms of mistake that I see you guys making. It's a furniture placement issue, but you're not connecting furniture placement with design movement, color movement, fabric movement, pattern movement through your space. I was in a design meeting earlier with some of my designers, and she was presenting something to me. We were looking at the space plan, and she very wisely said, I need to move this deep blue over to that portion of the room, onto that chair. So your space plans, your written space plans, will show you not only what functions well in a room and what doesn't. Will show you if you have enough pass-through space and when you don't or won't before you spend one dime. But it will also help you start to think in terms of moving a color through a space or moving a pattern into an area of a space. That space plan drawn on a computer or by hand does so many things. And I don't care how much you spend on your furniture. I don't care how beautiful your furniture is, guys. I don't care how big your home is, how small your home is. If you have a bad furniture layout, the room will always look bad and feel worse. No matter what your design style, doesn't matter the budget, doesn't matter the quality of the furnishings. Furniture layout is that important. It is a foundational thing. It's like the bones underneath your face, right? That make the shape of your face. Furniture layout is everything. And it is one of the #1 ignored things by brilliant design lovers like you, because you don't think it's that important, or you never knew it was that important, or it's just not, the fun part to you, like fabric planning. But I promise you, take the time to do that step, and it will be amazing, your results. And if you don't know how to rock your furniture layout, go learn how to do it. Go learn how to do it on your own. Take my online course, Decorating Genius, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms, because Decorating Genius, or DGS as we call it, it's an amazing course where I dive into everything you need to know, and we absolutely start at the beginning, and furniture space planning is absolutely in there. So there it is. All right, lovelies, listen. It has been an insanely busy day here at the design studio, and I am wiped out, pooped, and I've got a couple more things I've got to do, emails I have to send before we wrap it up for the day here. So I'm going to need to push on. But next week, 4 p.m. Eastern, join me here right before Thanksgiving. It'll be a nice little time for us to gather again. And we're talking about how to build your interior design confidence. That is our topic next week, 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, lovelies and gentlemen, it was great being here with you. Mwah to everybody, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Hi, this is Donna. Thanks so much for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and comment below so I know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the Interior Design Advocates channel so you don't miss any of our great content.